Welcome, everybody, to Dead Talk Live. And I don't know what happened there, but my intro did not play. That's unacceptable. Why did my intro not play? Let's try it again. Much better. Welcome, everybody, to Dead Talk Live. I'm your host, Viz. I want to welcome all of our viewers from around the world. Thank you for joining me tonight, being a part of our live audience. If you are joining us for the first time and want more information about our show, please visit us at deadtalklive.com. You could see all of our guests, upcoming guests, and of course, this show streams Monday through Friday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern to YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. Want to say a big thank you to all the moderators, Marie on Instagram, Saz, Khaleesi on the YouTube and Facebook, Twitter, Twitch side. Thank you guys for doing this every night. Want to say hello to some of our viewers. Let's see, we got Lisa with us on Facebook. Cece's with us on YouTube. Zoe is joining us on Twitter. Nice to have you with us, Zoe. Just scrolling up the chats on the Instagram side, we have Saeed, Saniya, who's saying hello. Lag is also with us. Elmer is giving us a big old thumbs up. I love the floating love hearts, guys. Keep them coming on Instagram. Pablo is also with us on Instagram as well. Priscilla is also joining us, as is Kamira. Thank you guys for joining tonight. Hope you could spend the next hour with us as we discuss all things horror. And a reminder that on Tuesday, we have the lead actress from the original Day of the Dead. Laurie Cardiel is going to be our special guest. Sarah from the original Day of the Dead. And I am really jazzed about that. Just think of it. 2 weeks ago, we had Scott Renninger, who was in the original Dawn of the Dead as Roger. And on Tuesday, we're getting Laurie Cardiel, who was the star of Day of the Dead. So really psyched to talk to them. And we also have a lot of other guests that I'm going to be announcing soon. Just waiting on final confirmation on the dates. And what I love about, I'm going to be completely honest, what I love about the range of guests that we have on this show, it ranges all generations. You know, going back to the classics, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, to up and coming new actors and actresses. One of the guests that we're getting ready to announce is getting ready to premiere in a new horror Amazon series. And she's a young and upcoming actress. She's only 15. And she's a bright beacon. And hopefully I'll be able to announce that, on our website, maybe later on tonight, tomorrow at the latest. But that is confirmed. We're just trying to nail down the date. So I love that. I love that we have the wide scope of guests, ranging from some of the classic horror movies that we love from the old days to new and up and coming stars. You know, I just absolutely love that. Khaleesi also writes, "That's what I love." Cece writes, I'm watching Day of the Dead right now and was wondering, the black guy, is that his real accent? Or is he acting, I don't know. He has like that Jamaican type accent in the movie. I don't know if that was just part of the script where he had to talk that way. I'm more inclined to believe, I've never heard the actor speak, that might be his true voice. That's just an opinion. I have not heard, and the actor's name is escaping me right now, but I have never heard him speak, So I honestly don't know. But if I were to guess, I would probably say that's his real voice. If not, he does a hell of a job doing that Jamaican accent, So anyway, let's get Jess B just joined us right now. Welcome, Jess. Let's get on with some news. Let's see what's going on in the world of entertainment. So, The Walking Dead is behind us for now, and it's now time to concentrate on Fear the Walking Dead. As I've mentioned, Fear the Walking Dead, for those of you that have AMC Plus, it's been available since Sunday. I have yet to watch it. I know, it's a big shame. But I'm going to be watching it either tonight, tomorrow, and we are going to be discussing it in full detail come Monday. So make sure you guys watch Fear the Walking Dead no later than Sunday when it officially airs on AMC. I know for our friends across the pond in Europe, the Walking Dead series, Fear the Walking Dead, doesn't air for you guys till Monday, but because of the time difference, you have no excuse for not being able to watch it before we go on here live. So, yeah, Saz, who's in the UK, says boo about the timing a day later. Welcome to Roa on Instagram. So let's see what they have to say. First article is about Morgan. Fear the Walking Dead Season 6 returns with a big Morgan moment. No surprise there. Morgan reconnects with some of his past in Fear the Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 8. There's an exclusive clip. Fear the Walking Dead 6 has been one of the darkest seasons of the show so far. Our heroes have been separated, some left for dead, while others were forced to join Virginia and her cruel group of pioneers who want all the survivors they meet to fall in line or die. That sums it up pretty accurately there. When Morgan stood up to Virginia in season 5, it ended very badly for him. Not only was his group broken, but so was his spirit. But season 6 has been all about putting those pieces back together for Morgan after a deadly encounter with a bounty hunter in the first half of the season. To be more exact, in the first episode of season 6, Morgan has been busy plotting the downfall of the pioneers one strike at a time. And I've said this before and I will say it again. This is a Morgan that we have not seen before. Of course, we have seen Killer Morgan all too often on The Walking Dead. But this is a Morgan who is more experienced. I think he has better control of his emotions. We know that the Killer Morgan is inside him. We know that. That's not even up for debate. Yeah, but whenever Killer Morgan came out, he lost all control. He couldn't control himself. Now we're seeing a Morgan who is back to being the Killer Morgan, but seems to be in full control, which makes him dangerous. And it explains perfectly why Virginia is and should be afraid that he is still alive and out there, and he is gunning for her. By the mid-season finale, it seemed that Morgan had his winning card. Dakota, Virginia's rebellious sister, who doesn't agree with her older siblings' methods. At first, Morgan planned to trade Dakota for the rest of his group, but was convinced to instead take her with him to the secret place he's been building for his people. That's where he met Isaac, remember in the first episode, while his wife was giving birth, to which they named after Morgan. And she is the only one in that place. Looks to be like behind a dam. And he's building it up. They are both building it up for what he hopes will be the day when he's able to bring his friends, plus more, back to his community. But Morgan doesn't know that Virginia has something up her sleeve too. As we learned in the final minutes of Damage from the Inside, Virginia has her own trump card, which will significantly complicate things for Morgan and his friends in the mid-season premiere, which is called The Door. Will deliver its biggest Morgan moment of the season when he reconnects with his love interest Grace. Oh, And I bet you it's going to be orchestrated in a way where Virginia and Morgan face off, and she shows him that she has Grace and full control of Grace, and her life is literally in Virginia's hands. Grace, whom we learned at the end of season 5, might be carrying his baby. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's a big time out there. That is a mistake. That is not accurate at all. Den of Geeks should have done a little bit more research before writing this. We know for a fact, because Grace told us so, she got pregnant by somebody she knew before she actually met Morgan. Somebody who was working at that nuclear power plant. Unless I'm completely wrong and remembering something from an alternate universe or I dreamt this up, that's exactly how it happened. Morgan is not the father of Grace's baby. So, just want to make sure I clarify that. Khaleesi says, right? Okay, good. So, a little foo on Den of Geeks there for not doing their full research. The exclusive clip below to see Morgan's reaction to hearing Grace's voice. So they don't actually meet. As we could see in the little picture, thumbnail right there, Virginia has a gun to the back of Grace's head. And let's go ahead and watch it.
Morgan, you there? We got something we need to discuss.
Don't. Rangers are nearby. They might figure out where we are.
John's right. Don't. She's just trying to scare you.
Morgan, it's me.
Oh, hell.
Sorry, I have to.
Morgan.
Yes, I'm here.
I thought that might do the trick.
Grace, are you okay? Is baby okay?
I'm okay, Morgan.
So is the baby. I think this little one's about 7 months now.
I thought you were dead, Morgan.
We all did.
Hey. You hear that, Morgan? Grace is fine, but that'll change real quick if anything happens to my sister.
Call the Rangers off.
Damn, that looks interesting. She is scared of him. Make no doubt about it. She is scared of him. As opposed, if we compare Virginia to, let's say, Negan, Negan never really showed any fear. Virginia is not good at controlling her emotions like Negan was. She's kind of an open book, actually. She has her little cards up her sleeve, her little tricks here and there, but she is a person who acts on emotions. That makes her more like the governor, but I don't think anywhere near as evil as what the governor was. The governor is in a class all to himself. Anyway, while we don't know what exactly is in store for Morgan and Grace for the rest of the season, the synopsis for the remaining episodes paint a bleak picture. And a reminder, guys, episodes 8 and 9 coming up were both directed by the great Michael Satrazemis. So I know these are going to be amazing episodes, and I cannot wait to watch them. As Morgan's bid to free the remaining members of the group become bolder, Virginia grows increasingly desperate to find her sister and protect the settlements from forces working inside and outside her walls. Don't forget about the spray paint people. The second half of season 6 reveals the impact of what living under Virginia's control has done to each person in this group, who once saw themselves as a family. New alliances will be formed, relationships will be destroyed, and loyalties forever changed. When everyone is forced to take sides, they discover the meaning of the end is the beginning, which is what those spray painters love to paint. Now, as far as the core group of people that were with Morgan before Virginia came along and split them up, John was all gung ho, let's give Virginia a chance in that one episode that completely changed his mind about Virginia and he realized her for what she was. But do you guys really see anybody else in that group, except for Strand, aligning themselves with Virginia? I think Strand is playing his plan, whatever you want to call it, very close to the vest. I'm I would not be surprised if he is full gung ho Virginia, and at the same time, I would not be surprised if he is just being very secretive to do what he is, what his goal is, and that is to fully gain Virginia's trust, and at the end, betray her in order to help his friends. If it goes either way, with Strand, it is completely unpredictable. I want to say hello to Nina, who's just joined us on Facebook. Welcome, Nina. Thank you for joining the broadcast. Lisa says, gotta take some of these reviewers with a grain of salt. Absolutely. Lisa also says, Virginia doesn't have any of those Neganisms either. That's absolutely true as well. So anyway, despite his new lease on life and more laissez-faire attitude regarding beheadings, the odds are still pretty stacked against Morgan. Virginia controls a whole army of rangers, a fleet of vehicles, even though they lost their gas supply, and even the oil fields that power those vehicles. Those oil fields are now destroyed. While all he has are a few friends and the vision for a new settlement hidden behind a dam. Virginia's people are savior-level threat. I do not agree with that. And this time, Morgan doesn't have a whole army behind him like Rick did in The Walking Dead Season 8. And even then, Rick's army compared to the Saviors, Rick was vastly outnumbered. The second half of Fear the Walking Dead 6 will also introduce 3 new characters, played by John Glover from The Good Wife, Nick Stahl from Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines, and Keith Carradine from Fargo. So there you guys have it. Not a very accurate article, to say the least. We also have another Fear article here. This is from Cinema Blend. Fear the Walking Dead nearly kills a major character off in a new mid-season premiere video. Fear the Walking Dead fans have been waiting since before Thanksgiving to learn what happens next with the zombie drama's core survivors. And as we just saw in that prior clip, John maybe he did go to his shed and Morgan found him there. But Morgan and John are together. But we should have all been more careful about what we wished for. The back half of Season 6 is set to show up on AMC on April 11th, and it immediately kicks off with a very dark moment featuring Garrett Dillahunt's John Dory nearly taking himself out of the equation via Scrabble-adjacent suicide. Let's watch this little clip.
I wouldn't do that if I were you, John. It'll do you no good. The mayor has policemen downstairs. Instructions to remove all marks of identification. They have on your person.
Come on, they're not going to make it seem like he accidentally kills himself while cleaning his gun. He is way too skilled for that.
I've already mailed a copy of this letter to Mr. Canal.
Who was that in the mirror?
Why don't you forget this foolishness? Stop right where you are, Mr. You don't want to go overboard with me. I'm glad you got it right here. You feel good, John Doe. It's all right. We've got a tear pouring all over me.
Damn, he's a good shot. He really is. What does that say? June is the second word. Suicide June. Oh, he's leaving a note. He's thinking of taking himself out. And he's leaving a note for June with the Scrabble tiles. Nah, that's... You know, when John Dory loses hope, that things are pretty bad. I mean, this is Mr. Optimism.
I'm sorry.
I guess this is the opening minutes. They just keep coming and coming. I'm glad he changed his mind. There you go. I would assume that is the opening minutes to this upcoming episode, episode 8. CC says, how do they still have bullets? You know, that's a good question. Tyler saying, what's up, Viz? Eric from Facebook here. Hey, Tyler, Eric from Facebook. Welcome. Tyler's joining us tonight via YouTube. Khaleesi is saying to Cece that John probably had a big supply of bullets. Probably does. I can't recall many times in the Walking Dead franchise existence where the opening minutes made me want to push my TV over as a dash away screaming, but the idea of not seeing John Dory for months on end, only to have him put a bullet in his head immediately, is enough to send me running. It wouldn't be quite as impactful if the actor and scene weren't so effective themselves, which is to be expected from Garrett Dillahunt, especially as one of this show's emotional anchors. But for real, he nearly convinced me that he would do it, despite my innate TV suspicions telling me it would be a little too wild for Fear to kill somebody off in such a manner. Thankfully, the sharpshooting character did not actually pull the trigger, and he's able to survive at least through the opening credits sequence. But what after that for good old John Dory, what happens next with those Scrabble letters and their ominous messaging? Hopefully, John gets to reunite with June and apologize for leaving like a lunk, while also still convincing June to get the hell away from Virginia and the Rangers. Might as well dream big if we're dreaming at all. I think we can all agree that the walkers who creep out of the water and disrupt John's suicidal intentions is the GOAT of Fear the Walking Dead Season 6 so far. Obviously, it was written in there specifically for that purpose, but I never look a gift zombie in the mouth. I don't really look at the zombie's mouth in any capacity, if we're being honest. Now we just need to see how John reconnects with Morgan and what causes their dust-up. Yeah, apparently there is some conflict that brews between John and Morgan. We really don't know all much about it. With the pandemic having forced production hiatuses across Hollywood and beyond last year, Fear the Walking Dead was in the midst of filming episode 8 when they had to shut everything down for a few months, which is why the AMC drama had to bow out on a somewhat bizarre note with episode 7 and Ed the taxidermist and Grace's return. But does that mean viewers will be getting a double dose of purposefully jarring episodes with a pseudo finale, a pseudo premiere airing back to back like that? I definitely think so. There's only one way to find out. Well, that and checking Wikipedia after both episodes have aired. Fear the Walking Dead airs Sunday night on AMC at 9 p.m. Here's hoping we won't be holding any fictional character vigils later that night. So, like I said, we're getting the premiere of season 6, which should have been the finale of the mid-season. And episode 9, which should have been the premiere, and we're getting them back to back, just a week apart. So normally there would have been several months to wait between those two episodes, but we are getting them back to back, so we don't have to wait very much at all. So anyway, let's move on to some different stuff. The creator, Ryan Murphy of American Horror Story, teases the top 4 fan-requested stories for the franchise's future. Earlier this month, American Horror Story creator Ryan Murphy asked fans about what storylines they would like to see explored in the future, presenting 6 potential narratives, with Murphy revealing the 4 that have gotten the most votes. Murphy didn't explain what he might be doing with these suggestions, whether they could be part of an upcoming season of the series or potentially being explored as spin-off adventures. But seeing that the filmmaker is interested in knowing what his fans are most interested in, while likely excite audiences, knowing that they could have a potential impact on future events in the frightening franchise. Taking to Twitter, Murphy confirmed that Aliens, Bloody Mary, Sirens, and The Plague were the stories that earned the most votes via hashtags on social media. This means that Xmas, Christmas Horror, and Piggy Man are out of the running. And you could see the tweet right there letting him know the top 4 finalists. And personally, Aliens, not that much interest there for me. Bloody Mary, that definitely sounds interesting. Sirens, that's interesting. But Plague, especially in the times that we're living in right now, I don't know if that would be just absolutely horrific to watch on TV or if it's just a great idea. And he has he made up a little 4 pictures to represent the top 4 votes. As Murphy has proven in his series, no matter how familiar a fan might be with the franchise, he still manages to offer plenty of surprises. With the upcoming spin-off American Horror Stories, and the season 10, which is going to be called Double Feature, set to break new ground for the format. Murphy revealed the concept for the new season in March, following months of hints and teases for what the latest installment would explore. Given that these teases offered clues of seemingly disconnected concepts, it all made sense when Murphy confirmed that the new season would explore 2 separate narratives, as opposed to following the established formula of each season exploring one concept. Season 10 of American Horror Story will see the returns of longtime stars Sarah Paulson, yes. Evan Peters, yes. Kathy Bates, yes. With this new story also featuring Macaulay Culkin, Leslie Grossman, Billy Lord, Adina Porter, Lily Rabe, Angelica Ross, and Finn Whitrock, all from prior seasons. Despite knowing that the new season will explore 2 different stories, star Whitrock previously admitted that fans will likely still be taken by surprise, which makes for such a rewarding experience as a performer. What's fun about this show is that no 2 things are ever the same, the actor noted to Entertainment Weekly. It's like, do you want to come in and do this single episode, or do you want to come in and be the lead of the season? That's what I love about this. I really love about American Horror Story. One season, You could just be a background, barely used, maybe in an episode or two character. And then the following season, that same actor can be the lead. A good example of that is Evan Peters. Prior to Cult, where he was the main lead, him and Sarah Paulson were the leads for the Cult season. He had a very small, limited role on the season prior to Cult. And then Cult came on, and he was the lead. So you just never know with American Horror Story. Do you want to come on and be a crazy psycho killer? Do you want to come in and be this relatively normal dad? You just never know what you're going to get. So there you guys have it. I just see an article here about Stranger Things season 4. Offer spoilers, thinks Netflix will fire him. I want to read this. Details about the upcoming season 4 of Stranger Things are being kept under wraps, but star David Harbour recently took to Instagram from the set of the series in Atlanta, another show that's being shot in Atlanta, teasing fans that he was about to share some spoilers about the new episodes. However, when his co-star on the series, Millie Bobby Brown, noticed that he was live, she joined in on the conversation, preventing him from spoiling any actual details about the new season, resulting in Harbour admitting that though he thought Netflix was about to fire him. It's currently unknown when season 4 of Stranger Things could be debuting on Netflix. I think I can only be here for like 3.5 minutes because I think I have to go to the set fairly soon. Harbour shared on Instagram, I'm here shooting season 4 of our television show. And look at him in this picture. He looks pretty damn roughed up. Let's see what he has to say. I love his character on Stranger Things. Not much of a talker.
What's up, everybody? How's it going?
Damn, he looks roughed up.
I haven't done an Instagram Live in a little while. I think I can only be here for like 3.5 minutes because I think I have to go to the set fairly soon. What's going on? Oh my God, Meredith, how are you? I'm here shooting season 4 of our television show. I don't think I'm supposed to be showing you these. Who wants to hear spoilers for season 4?
He's totally messing.
Let me just read directly from the script. That'll be good. I'm good. How are you?
Do we see Millie come in?
It's a very tough day today.
Yeah, you look pretty rough, dude.
Very tough day. I'm exhausted. Oh, shit, Millie.
There she is.
Oh, no. Millie, don't tell Netflix. Don't tell Netflix that I'm doing an Instagram Live from set. I'm just going to read your sections of the script, Millie. I'm just going to tell everybody what happens to 11 this season. I just told him, or you just told him? Oh, did you do an Instagram Live and you just told him? Dude, why don't you make a phone call and see if somebody's going to pick up?
There she is.
Hello.
Oh my God. What's up, dude?
Hey.
I don't know. I'm so crazy. I'm just so crazy. I shouldn't be doing this.
Where
This.
are you? Hello?
Look at the beautiful decor. You know where I am.
I know exactly where you are. I was just there.
Where are you? Are you in Hotlanta? I haven't seen you.
You know what? I'm just traveling the globe. No, I'm really not.
Right.
I was filming for a bit. Were you filming today?
I am still filming today. Today's a very,
Are you
very long day.
are you in your costume?
Yeah, but they saw it in the clip. Yes, in the trailer. What? They're
Oh my gosh,
ready?
they're ready.
Didn't they see it? Do you think?
Alive! Go back to work!
I know they're gonna get Netflix is gonna get. I'm getting fired.
No, you don't
Damn it!
understand. You're getting a phone call right now.
Hey, I miss you. It's good to see you. You look great.
I
Congratulations
love you.
on your movie this weekend too. You.
Okay, that was awesome. I'm glad. I love that. Gypsy rides. Yep, it was planned. I'm sure it was. But he really seemed just exhausted. I know that's makeup on him for whatever scene he's filming currently for season 4 of Stranger Things. His head is all shaved. Uh, that was just funny. Most likely it was planned, but the fact that Millie just showed up there and the way she was reacting to and telling him to get off the live, I thought that was hysterical. I think that was hysterical. Anyway, 10 awesome horror movies that succeeded despite being derivative. All right. There's nothing wrong with being derivative, and these 10 horror movies succeeded either financially or critically despite the label. From the early days of German Expressionism and pioneering Hammer horror films to the modern era of larger than life monsters and CG scares, cinema and horror have always gone hand in hand. That said, today horror films are often thought to be trope riddled and cliched, and the samey, that is a word that they wrote, samey, low effort productions that hit theaters every January certainly don't help. Yet the fact that a film is derivative does not disqualify it from critical or financial success. And some of the most beloved horror movies of all time borrowed heavily from their provocative predecessors. All right? Number 10, Friday the 13th. Which one? Though it's not the first slasher movie and the gore is remarkably tame compared to what the film would ultimately inspire, John Carpenter's Halloween kickstarted an all new subgenre and brought the concept of the mysterious masked villain to the forefront of horror filmmaking. Uh, According to Victor Miller, the writer behind the Friday the 13th film, I'm assuming they're talking about the first one. The franchise was created specifically to capitalize on the popularity of the Halloween movies. Previously successful horror flicks like Jaws, and to this day, I'm sorry, I do not consider Jaws a horror movie. I'm sticking to that. Jaws is not a horror movie. Or The Exorcist, there were few and far between. And Friday the 13th was an attempt to establish commercial success in a genre that had been up until that point fairly niche. All right, number 9, Escape Room. Number 8, Saw. I thought Saw had a pretty unique concept. Number 7, They Live. I never thought that They Live would become the classic that it has become. I love the movie. I just, it's a Rowdy Piper movie, and those of you who don't know, Rowdy Piper was at that time WWF, now WWE, wrestler, popular one. Number 6, The Conjuring. Yeah, fairly cliche in some of its, but done very uniquely and brought something very refreshing to the screen. Number five, Paranormal Activity. I would not really call this derivative. Number four, Insidious. Another great movie. Number three, Black Swan. Fantastic movie. Number two, Lake Placid. And number one, 28 Days Later. One of the movies where we really got to see those rage zombies. As you can see in this picture, even if they are on fire, they will continue running after your ass. Welcome to Corware, who's with us on Instagram. Welcome to Profile, who's just joined us. Violet is also saying hello. Welcome to all you guys who just joined us on Instagram. Looking at the time here, let's see what we got. I thought this was funny. A Terrible Horror Movie is the #1 film on Netflix today. What Lies Below. Official trailer. It's not uncommon to see forgettable or wholly mediocre films find a massive audience once they hit a major streaming platform. And a rather dull horror thriller, What Lies Below, are they talking about the one with Michelle Pfeiffer? Is the latest to manage this feat on Netflix. The story finds a teenage girl return from summer camp to discover that not only does her mother have a new boyfriend, but she intends to marry him despite having known him for just a matter of months. She decides there's something not quite right about him. Now I'm thinking of a completely other movie. Partly because he seems too perfect, and when she witnesses his strange behavior at night, she begins doubting that what she knows is real. All in all, it's a fairly standard setup for a quasi-supernatural melodrama, with for once it's being a hunky guy getting objectified as a paragon of ethereal beauty rather than some nubile young woman. But there just isn't enough narrative scope to fill out even such a lean runtime. There's not much more to the story that was shown in the trailer, and nothing that happens is interesting enough to justify the time spent watching those fragmentary moments expanded and joined up. I just thought that was a funny headline. Apparently this person is surprised that in his opinion, A Terrible Horror Movie is the #1 watched movie on Netflix, and this was 2 days ago. Anyways. Dijin, a young boy unleashes a nightmarish horror in the creepy trailer for Dijin. Now, I want to see this trailer. Where the hell is it? Let's watch this trailer.
What do you think?
We start thinking about the things we're missing. We forget about the things we have.
Oh, don't forget to take a shower before bed. I'll be home before you get up.
Gift that you seek may cost you your soul. whole bunch of info in that trailer, but that looks interesting. Lisa says the one with Michelle Pfeiffer is What Lies Beneath. Wasn't that the title of the movie that I just read? I think that's what confused me. No, it's What Lies Below. You see? I could easily that's why I got those confused. This horrible movie that they were talking about is called What Lies Below. The Michelle Pfeiffer Harrison Ford movie is What Lies Beneath, which is a pretty good movie. So, pardon my confusion there. So let's see. The Djinn IFC Films has released a creepy trailer for a thriller horror film titled The Djinn. The film follows a mute boy played by Ezra Dewey who is trapped in his apartment with a dark and sinister monster that he unleashes when he makes a wish to fulfill his heart's greatest desire. This actually looks like it could be a great and terrifying film. The trailer alone offers some chilling footage, and I'm curious to see what's in store for this poor kid who has a nightmarish demon looking to collect his soul. So be careful who you make a deal with. The story follows a mute 12-year-old Dylan Jacobs as he discovers a mysterious book of spells inside his new apartment. Yeah, sure, you move into a new apartment. Doesn't everybody find a book of spells? Grieving the loss of his mother and feeling isolated from everyone except for his father, Dylan performs a ritual that promises to deliver his heart's desire, to have a voice. But he soon discovers that every gift has a toll when a sinister Djinn arrives to collect his soul. Now trapped in his new home with nowhere to hide, Dylan must find a way to survive until the stroke of midnight or pay the price. So there you go. Khaleesi says, how do you spell the name of that movie? Djinn is D-J-I-N-N. It's a name for a demon. So, damn, we're almost out of time. Let's go ahead and talk about our topic for today, and that is the best scare scenes. Okay? Well, you can never make a list of the best scare scenes. First of all, it's subjective. Everybody has their own opinion on what scares them, but there have been some pretty decent ones out there. And some of the ones that came to our minds as we were preparing for this episode, in the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, do you guys remember when we see Leatherface for the first time? When the girl is standing in front of a wall or a door, and that door slides open, and we get to meet Leatherface. He grabs her, pulls her in, and shuts the door behind her. In the 1970s, we were seeing this movie that has, to this point, not gotten all that weird. We're pretty suckered in by this normal setting, and no one is playing any kind of score to really swell the scene and pull that tension. Instead, we just get this weird trip and this sudden appearance by Leatherface in a what the hell kind of a moment. It hits that instant shock, that jump scare, tries to really hammer home, but it just builds it naturally. And what really sells it is how casual Leatherface is about it. Well, we know from sequels that came afterwards, that was not his first dive into abducting and killing people, tearing off their skin, particularly women, and wearing it as a mask. Well, we're not seeing this. We're not seeing this over-exaggerated, wacky character. We're seeing this big guy just appear, and hitting the guy just stands out as one of those scenes that sticks out in your mind. And I'm assuming the majority of you have seen the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original classic. Now, Paranormal Activity, the ending. The original Paranormal Activity with Katie Featherstone. It's a weird saying, this one goes back, but the first Paranormal Activity was a huge movie. We've talked about this before. It had a budget of $10,000. It brought in somewhere in the neighborhood of $187 million. That's one hell of a profit right there. One of the biggest things it did was in TV spots, it shows footages of fans sitting in the theater getting terrified. And I remember that. I remember watching the commercials for Paranormal Activity, and it was those kind of commercials. It was really a unique thing where they filmed audiences as they were watching the film, getting terrified and seeing all the jump scares. And I think it worked great. I think it was definitely a contributing factor, besides the movie being good, that sold the movie and what helped it make all that damn money. What makes it work is the old school movie techniques that it uses. The movie was very cheap to make. It was just made on $10,000, and it uses the same tricks they used for the original Invisible Man. And it got everyone the way the Blair Witch did, using the found footage framing. During screen testing, audiences were leaving because they said they were getting too scared. It's one of those movies that hit the pulse and really got under everyone's skin, and that ending is just a prime example of how freaky it got. And we saw it building throughout the whole movie. You know, I don't know if you guys know this, but the three things to obsession, what is it? Infestation. The last one is a possession. I forgot what the second one is called. Basically, the demon comes into your home. The second part is it wears you down. And the third and final step is possession, after it's completely broken you down and just getting you to have no will to fight anymore. Next, let's see. Looking at the time we have, the chest, alien busting out of the chest scene. Classic scare scene right there. That one will never get old. Carrie, Carrie's grave. This was one of those endings that you really don't see coming. It works that way because it does such a great job of suckering you in, thinking this was going to be that classic, if only seen. And when Sue puts the flowers down and the hand pops up and the music hits perfectly, just nailing the impact of the hand and the scare, it's a great way to end the movie. Now, the spider walk in The Exorcist, which I have to tell you guys, did not make the original cut of the movie when it first came out. That spider walk, at least the first time that I saw it, was in bonus footage of The Exorcist. And if you have not seen it, if you watch the movie, it's not in the movie, it's a bonus footage. And probably one of the first movies that probably did the inverted human being walking on all fours, that has since become so popular, especially in demonic possession movies. So the whole movie should count for this, especially when the movie caused nausea, fainting, and at a New York screening, a woman is said to have had a miscarriage. There's a lot of stories going around about how people reacted when The Exorcist first hit the theaters. It's that spider walk that everyone remembers. That, like I said, though, it was a bonus scene. The people that originally went into the movie theaters did not see that scene. The way the spider walk plays, hitting in the middle of this emotional moment, unnoticed by everyone else, just adds to the creep factor. Anyone with kids can say that a kid going for your legs is scary enough, but with the subtext of a demon inside the kid scares the hell out of anybody watching it. It's a very subtle in the sense that it was done, and I'm not exactly 100% sure about this, but I think it's the first ever movie to pull off that kind of a scene. So kudos for them. there are hundreds of scary scenes out there. Like I said, it's a subjective topic. Uh, we just watched The Unholy the other day. Last week. We had the writer, director, producer of the film here as a guest on our show. The Unholy, a great movie starring J.D. Morgan. It had a total of about 3 jump scares in the entire movie, and it's perfect. If you make a movie and you just put one jump scare after another, then it loses its effect. You know, some of these filmmakers, just their only goal is to not pay that much attention to the storyline, but to give you jump scares. That's not a good equation to make a good movie. You put in just the right amount of jump scares in a movie, of course, have a great script, great acting, and you've got a winner right there on your hand. So that is my opinion on that. So anyway, guys, we are out of time for tonight. The hour just flies by. If you want to be a part of our live audience, please join us Monday through Friday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern on your platform of choice. It could be YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, or Twitter. This show is simultaneously streamed to all 5 platforms. Please visit us at deadtalklive.com to see all of our featured episodes, which are our guest interview episodes. See all of our prior guests, upcoming guests as they get confirmed, and a whole bunch more. It is Thursday night here on the East Coast of the United States. Tomorrow is Friday, the start of the weekend. I hope everybody stays safe. And until tomorrow night, stay walking, guys.